Hey, welcome back to another episode of Talkin' Shit ATL with your host Amanda Ellenberg.
And I'm Prodigy Q.
And then you'll see that Table is Teddy today. He is chilling in his favorite place, which actually is the cage. It actually really works out that he loves his cage. It's big and huge, has all his toys, and I put a bunch of food in there, so he's great.
Listen, this is the best, dog mom to have, because, listen, Teddy be living his best life. That's so envious. I walked in there, he got a radio, he got music playing, Shaggy playing, he's...
He has a memory foam bed in there too, and he has his blanket.
If y'all ever want to know who the diva of the show is,
right? And that's why the diva had to go. Right. We don't know if he'll be coming back. Maybe a guest appeance. We'll see how he acts.
Yeah. No, Teddy's definitely the star of the show for sure.
He makes himself the star.
Yeah, right. Diva. He's a diva. He's our Beyonce, and we're Kelly and Michelle.
So. If you don't know our names, you'll know his.
Right. I love it.
So I guess we'll get into some housekeeping.
Oh yes. So first of all, let me just say continuously, you guys, because we always got to say it. Definitely, like, subscribe. Send this to your folks. Comment. Of course, all the things. Because again, without those things, of course, we can't be seen. Our episodes, messages we have can't be shared. So definitely, again, friends, loved ones, family. Definitely send them. Again, if there's any episode that you like, you love, or maybe relevant to somebody else, definitely send it. Share it, post it, repost for us. We ask, you guys do that because we definitely need it. It's the only way that we can continue to grow and continue to keep talking shit, because we don't want to feel like we're talking to ourselves. So, definitely engage with us. We know we try to say it over and over every episode. We're going to continue to do so because we really do want to continuously engage with you guys and feel like the conversations are, twofold. So please, like, subscribe, rate, Apple, and rate and
and review on Apple and Spotify. You can do that.
So rate and review us. And again, we want to hear it. Again, good, bad, and ugly. There's nothing you feel like you can't say. Again, if there was something you didn't like, or again, audio, or episodes.
I mean, you can tell us the ugly, but don't be ugly. You know what I mean?
That's it. We take corrective criticism.
Yes.
Those kind of things, because again, we want to just continue to get better and improve. Again, not just for ourselves and our podcast, but again for you all. We want these experiences, wherever you may be, if you're at work or you're at home or laying down, we want to be able to get that vibe where then when you feel like you're with us and, things are not pulling you out, or, you feel like, okay, I didn't like that, or, whatever it may be, drop it in the comments, send us a direct message, email us, whatever,
Yeah, you miss Teddy, you never want him back, we want to know.
We want to know, either way, all the things. So definitely continue to do that. And again, we just continue. Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Tuning in week after week, and listen to us talk the many different shits of all the things we talk about.
We see you. We want to hear from you. Okay.
Yes.
And also, I guess my housekeeping. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know how much the camera picks up. I have a little wet spot on my shirt. So my trick is if I spill anything on me, I just douse a bunch of water on it and then it doesn't stain. And then also I was putting on lotion before we started and it just looked like I came on myself. So I wanted to get rid of that. But it didn't dry in time. So we're still here.
It's all good. Felicia's not like mashed potatoes and black dark track suits.
Yeah.
If you listen to embarrassing stories from last week, then you know what that reference is about. And if you didn't, definitely go back where we shared our personal embarrassing stories as well as some that we found online. So definitely check that out. And she's like, I'm not going to be embarrassed today. So clean that up.
So I'm going to just wet my shirt and act like nothing's there, even though I told you exactly what happened.
That might be the thing that keep people coming,
Yeah. Literally.
They do a wet t-shirt contest on fucking shit. Tune in.
Okay, come
right.
Yeah. If you're on audio, you missed the dance. I didn't shake it too much because we ain't getting paid yet.
Right, say that. It ain't free now. Hold on. It ain't free. That's so funny.
I'm going to shake what my mama gave me when you give me them dollar bills, y'all. Okay.
All right. Viral.
I know.
Every episode is
like, where are the titties, man?
Right, where is it? You know we here for
promise this. Oh my God! No promises.
No promises.
None. I take it back, but it's still kind of on the table.
Yeah. That's so funny. So listen, you want these views? I mean, what you gonna do? I can see them now. What you gonna do for these views?
Yeah, I couldn't actually fully rub my hands because the lotion's still there.
What you trying to do? You say you want to like, huh?
You really want me to review?
Yeah,
okay.
right. What you gonna do for me? Well, listen, you guys. I love it.
But again, no promises. No. I just have to say that so you don't say, I have it here in this video that you're going to show me your titties. But yeah, so moving on. Speaking of titties, we're going to help you find your perfect pair.
I was wondering where you were going and how you was going to loop that. I'm not going to lie. That was perfect.
That was good, yeah.
That was perfect.
So today, we will be talking about manifesting your mate. So whatever kind of titties you like, we're going to help you find them and find the soul underneath them, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about manifestation. So basically, like, all you need to know about manifestation is that it is to make your dreams, your goals, your wishes a reality by first just believing that they can actually come true and believe that they are going to come true. And then there's several different techniques of manifesting. So I do want to get into the 777 manifestation method.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, have you heard of this before?
I have not,
okay.
So I'm really excited. Actually.
Yeah.
I'm really big on manifestation and the power of it, and I do believe in it wholeheartedly, that we truly can manifest anything.
Yeah.
We set our mind to it, good and bad, because I mean, I do believe, death lies in, power of tongue, death and life, so equally you can speak good, you can still manifest negative as well. So,
Yeah, and I just real quick, I was talking about today, like, to one of our friends. I haven't even been able to talk to you about this. But we were just talking about visualization, and I just talked about how, like, I started doing visualization work. I need to get back on it a little bit, but I was doing it every single day for a period of time, and all of a sudden, like, without me even prompting this or anything, I just saw myself walking around in London, and it was summer, and I was like, hold up, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where is this coming from? I don't know, but I still believed that was coming. Like, I was like, that is a sign, it's going to happen, and I kept that mentality. I didn't even do really any work on it. I just kept that mentality, and then I talked to someone about it. They gave me the idea. I followed that idea, and I lived in the UK for 3 months that summer.
That's so wild.
It is that. It's so true how powerful this stuff is, and it seems all like it's not really gonna work. It works. It definitely works. And there have been other ways that's happened, but that was like the biggest, most revealing way for me. So pairing visualization in it helps a lot as well. But right now we're talking about manifestation. So the 777 manifestation method, it's a writing technique. So where you write down like what you'd like to manifest 7 times in the morning, 7 times in like the evening or night for 7 consecutive days.
Yes.
So
like that.
This technique became popular on TikTok like a few years ago for good reason, obviously, because it works. So you can manifest anything you want in your life. This soulmate, you can manifest money, you can manifest anything. So what you need to make sure you do is that you need to be very clear on what your intentions are. So you need to clarify exactly what you want and to manifest. And like, this is the thing, the universe takes your word like at face value. I was looking for the phrase. At face value. So the way that you phrase things to yourself and to the world is very, very important. So think about it for a while before you even begin and really try to figure out exactly what you want and say it exactly how you want. Like, if y'all watch Wizards of Waverly Place, you learned that I know this is not the same thing, but it just made me think of it. But you learned, like, that there was different episodes where Alex was, like, thinking of something, said something for a spell, and it went completely wrong because of the way that she said it. So it's very true. Like, the world hears exactly what you say. And then also declare, like, that your desires are in past tense. So basically it needs to be in present tense for the law of assumption to work. So you need to believe that the universe already granted your wish. So even with that visualization, I was like, and that's what I was even saying to my friend today. I was like, believe that you already have what you want and you will get it. Like there are different things in my life, but just using this example, I believed that I was already, like, basically that I had already booked my ticket and I knew I was going for the summer.
Yes.
Period. There was no, I hope I get to, I really wish that I want to. No, I was going to London that summer and I was going to live there for a long period of time. Didn't know how I was going to, but I knew that I was going to before I even had an inkling of how. And then you're going to write down your manifestation 7 times in the morning. You could use a scrap piece of paper, a journal, whatever. Just make sure you write down 7 times in the morning. And that's why it's so important that you're completely clear in that manifestation, because you're going to be writing that down. And try to do it when you first wake up. So, this is saying, like, be a little sleepy, because you're going to link that manifestation to the dream world and allow your eyes to believe what you write down. And write it 7 times in a row. And then you'll write it down in the evening. They say it's best to do it right before bed. And write it down 7 times again and try to do it when you're tired. So that's, like, the whole thing with this, is that it's trying to link up your dreams with your reality and, like, make them coexist. And funny enough, that was another thing that happened with that visualization. Like, I kept on dreaming in different places of the UK that I was there. Like, I kept on dreaming it, and it was just so weird and wild and amazing.
Yeah,
like,
right to that point, you hadn't ever been before, right?
No. I had been there, but not to London. Like, I took a study abroad trip when I was in college to Oxford, and then I went to London a couple times, but I had never lived in London, and I was stuck to their schedule for the most part anyways, so I didn't have a lot of freedom in what I did. Right. And what I visualized was very free, and it was very specifically London. And when I went, I spent a month and a half in London, a month and a half in Edinburgh in Scotland. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I spent it doing theater at, like, the largest fringe festival in the entire world. So I got to see different performances in different languages and meet a bunch of different people in the industry. It was incredible. Like, some of the best moments of my entire life. I love that. And it all started with this random visualization that just came to me and, like, overpowered me. And I trusted myself and that enough to follow it. Yeah. But not, like, push for it. Yeah. To just trust in it.
Right.
So, yeah. And then you do want to repeat that for 7 days so that you'll have a total of writing your manifestation 98 times.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah. And then there's, like, a different part of that technique if you don't like that one. So this is kind of where the soulmate part comes in. So you can write a name down 7 times. Write the name of the person that you want to affect. But if you're manifesting for yourself, write down your name. So, and make sure you write down their first and last name. But if you already have someone that you think is like your soulmate for life. You think that y'all would be perfect together. Take this opportunity to write it down. No one has to know but you. So it shouldn't come with any feeling of like embarrassment or anxiety, because it's for you. It's not for anybody else. And you don't have to walk around town being like, look at Joe Schmo's name in my notebook.
Right.
So yeah.
Writing their name 14 times a day.
Yeah.
Manifesting them.
Right? On a side note, though, I used to write lists of, like, boys that, because I didn't realize how gay I was, boys that I went to school with, and write down their, like, first and last names in my notebook. And, like, yeah, I really did. I didn't manifest it, though, because I didn't write it 7 times in the morning and 7 times in the night.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I know. For 7 days. And then, so you're going to want to still create a manifestation around them, like an affirmation around them. So in this example, they're saying money comes to Jane Doe easily. Don't write something like that, right? Money comes to me easily. So in that example, if you're writing the names, you wouldn't say your name. I wouldn't say money comes to Amanda Ellenberg easily. I'd say money comes to me easily. So you can use that for many different things. And yeah, and just an example for love, you could say Jane Doe is going out with Jane Doe. For success, Jane Doe is a successful businesswoman. Like stuff like that, where it is a fact and it's already happened, that this thing that you're wanting is happening to you.
That makes sense, yeah. So instead of being like, I want $1 million, I'm going to say, I already have $1 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or even like, $1 million is mine.
Yes.
I feel like that's even stronger.
Yes, and if any of you guys do this and get $1 million, we want a little cut.
Yeah. And I clearly need a cut for a better fucking headband, because I don't know how long it's been wrapped around my bun, but
it was cool at first, though. I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
Migrated to...
Yeah. If you're on audio, definitely at least come and check YouTube for that, because that looked crazy. But yeah, so that's like the foundation of it all. Yeah, what are your thoughts? I know I've been talking for a long time.
No, I mean, like I said before, like I said, again, I really do believe in manifestation. Again, like, I tell about it when I'm talking to other people too, or giving advice, I'm always speaking highly on manifestation, because I do believe that, our thoughts, especially when they become words, especially, once thought becomes word and sound and vibration, then, that's kind of how I believe it kind of gets out and begins to live. Because everything, and there's different other studies that people who talk about it, but people who really believe that, everything is based off of a vibration. Everything that the way we live and speak, is all vibrational waves and energy. And so when you
energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Right? Right. So as soon as you're saying, I have $1 million, and or $1 million would easily come to me, and you put that out, and that in that vibration,
or it easily comes to me, because it has to already be happening. Not easily will come to me.
Easily comes to me. I love it. You take the will out. Easily comes to me, and that vibration then takes on life, and eventually begins to form, because again, everything is created from wavelengths and vibrations and those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe wholeheartedly in manifestation. Again, and these kind of techniques, I think, is definitely the best way to get into that, because again, the more you say it, the more you see it, the more it happens. I had a friend, and we were just kind of casually talking, and he was saying like, yeah, somebody was like, stop saying, I'm broke, or stop saying, I don't have money, or whatever. And they was talking about how, once they stopped doing that, money just seemed to be kind of come, and I was like, okay, that's a good thought. I'm gonna apply it. And I did, and I do. And, and now, I've never really, cause concerned about like money coming to me. Granted, do I get to keep it? Not necessarily bills and stuff,
but it's there.
But the fact that it's there, the fact that because it could be one thing to be like, oh my God, I don't have it. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Because that's what it was before. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna pay this, I'm gonna pay that, and now it's not like. I'm still concerned about those things, but
maybe that's because your manifestation needs to be. More money than I need easily comes to me.
Yeah, more abundantly.
Yeah,
even more abundant.
Money comes in abundance to me.
To me.
Yeah.
To me. That's the thing. That we gonna change that a little bit. Because then we can cover, which makes really great. Because that's my friend. I don't really have to worry about money in that regard. Because ways to make the money. Whether I get an extra shift that come out the blue. Whether somebody be like, oh, I thought about you. Here, my friend today. Here's $10 to buy you some lunch. It's just like just those small little things. Sometimes it's just like, okay, it's happening. So I definitely in a place now where I don't ever say like, even if I really don't have the money, or whatever, I'm never saying, oh my God, I'm so broke, or because I know people who do that. And again, be a person who has done that, and then you do typically find yourself more often than not broke, you know what I'm saying? So I try to definitely cut that out, like, oh my God, I don't got it. I do
have another manifestation for you. My hands don't make a lot of noise. Because I know, but it's still, you can hear it hit the blanket. Is the soft, like it can have the energy. And then I'm sorry, y'all. If we hear me a few episodes in a row talk about the hands, it's just because the mics pick up a crazy amount of things. Like it should not be picking up any of that sound. So, and it's something that's like wild when you get into this kind of work where it's like you have to be cognizant of something that you've never had to be cognizant of. Because even in theater, even in film, like you don't have to think about that. It's really like in this world specifically that it comes into play.
But then again, we might add a little ASMR to.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, comment if you like it. If you like it, okay. But sometimes, at least. Have really good manifestations. Yes, I love it. Maybe. Hey, comment if you want to see an ASMR one. So we could do a whole podcast like that. That would be fun. Would it be fun for y'all? Let us know. Please let us know.
I love this podcast so much. This the thing we talk about in Greg goes
You don't have to keep them behind your back.
Manifestation begins now. Okay, I'm putting under this is a weighted blanket, you guys.
It's so weighted. We can switch if you want. Okay. Then hold them down.
There we go.
I don't want you to lose your energy.
It's okay though, because I realized the past episodes too, I'm like, my hands never stop moving.
Yeah. I realized when I could hear it.
Yeah. My hands be moving, boy. So we're gonna try this.
And this is just proof of like we usually do this off camera, but like we really do talk about all the ways we can improve.
Right. Y'all can see our processes too.
In person. Okay.
But
wait, I did want to ask you a question. Yeah. How have you seen like a difference in when you were really focusing on your manifestation and when not? Like how have you seen things play out?
I've seen things play out, tremendously. And because again, when I'm not manifesting this, of course, it's just thinking about, okay, I want this, I do want to do this, those kind of things. But when you begin to like really speak it and see it and you start believing it, and then, because a lot of times too, we always want a thing, but like you said before, like we never know how it's actually going to happen, and then you start saying, like, the more you start saying it, then you start, like I said, it comes in different ways. Like I said, it literally can come in dreams. They answer, oh boy, you could do this. Or randomly, somebody talking to a stranger, and then they might say something that's like, confirmation for you, or give you that jewel that you need. Even like you said, somebody said something to you about XYZ, then, that led to,
that was my answer.
Right, and so I felt that more times than not, it manifests itself in that way. A lot of times it is like, when we want things, of course we want it now, we want it in the moment, and of course it never comes like that. Even in manifested, it's not going to just, okay, if I say this long enough, it's like a wish, and in the morning it's going to be there in that way. But it comes in those different ways where you get confirmation okay, I'm on the right track, or you get, a word from somebody, or just a random. I mean, it's been so many things like randomly, like have to be on just Google or something, Googling something, and then a link that's like, boom, oh man, I need, this is exactly what I needed, So you get in those ways, and the more I've seen it happen that way, the more I'm like, okay, I'm gonna continue to do this, And I tell my friends too, like, a lot of times when I see something, and once I see it, I'm going to get it, because that's just kind of where the weight of manifestation that I have is like, okay, if I see it, if I say it, is going to happen. I might not necessarily know when, or again, like a lot of times, again, the how, but it is going to happen. And for me, the same thing. You would coming to Atlanta, like it was that kind of thing where I knew I was coming here, even though I didn't know how. Like I was still in college, so I'm like, I'm going to Atlanta. Didn't know how, didn't necessarily know when, what, but it's like I'm going. And then even when the opportunity came for me to come here, I was back home. I still had like a couple months left on my place I was living at. And I was working another job at the time, and then it literally was like the window opened. I was like, "Listen, I gotta go like now." You know what I mean? And that's what happened. So,
I think a lot of the power in manifestation is also like believing you already have it, because believing that it's already there for you takes away a lot of the pressure and how am I going to get it?
Yeah.
That I feel like there's different things where I feel like I've been so focused on the how. I know what I want, but I've been so focused on the how that it's actually been taking me away from me having it more, because I'm focusing on, I don't have this, I need to do this, I need to do that, instead of being like, well, I have it, and letting the universe speak to me more. Like it closes up my ears and my eyes to the universe and to the energy around me speaking to me, you know?
And again, like with me also being, spiritual and religious in the way that I am, is at the same time has also enhanced just my faith as well. Because, ultimately that's what faith in a sense is. It is believing in the things kind of unseen and unknown. And so the more I've manifested things, and the more I found that my faith has also grown tremendously. And even when it comes to my prayer life, that's a thing that's even in my prayer life where I'm thankful, and I'm saying thanks for things that I know you're already doing that I may have not seen yet, or I say things on something like I thank you in advance for what you've already done, even though I don't have it yet. And so even those things have like really like paired together very well in the duality of both, like my manifestation is getting stronger, and then my faith and believing that it's going to happen has gotten stronger, and then as a result, things have been happening, and things have been getting better. And even with what we spoke about again in previous episodes about our New Year's resolutions and all those kind of things, is still believe, or the things we talked about like wanting to see happen with the podcast and stuff, is I have no doubts in my mind that we won't have those things, just because again through test and trial I've seen it succeed in these aspects, to where I know now, like, and that's how I feel like even more of a powerhouse now, like since I've tapped into it, really believe, like I truly believe a powerhouse, like I don't, and that's also allowed me to not limit myself either. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's like, okay, if I just get a decent job, I'd be happy. It's like, no, I would be the CEO, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I won't be happy because I won't be fulfilled. That's not what I want. I've never been happy in that. No matter the job or the people around me, everybody could be great. The job could be great. That's not where I'm happy. To think that that's just magically going to make me happy just because I can pay my bills and go on a vacation. Like, in some people it might. I'm not harping on that. Whatever makes you happy makes you happy. Like, period. And that's what you should follow and trust in. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, the biggest thing is the trust in. Trust in it happening, and trust in yourself, the ability to make it happen. Again, even if you don't know, because the truth is, like, a lot of stuff we never know. Even with the episodes with, like, the past episode, if you haven't seen it, with our girl Tiff, who gave us a good workout and stuff, she spoke a lot about her beginning process of when she decided to finally take that step, and again, her not knowing how it was or how it was going to, develop, but then
and actively having people tell her not to,
right,
right.
Exactly. But then it's still be like, no, I'm going to stick to this because this is what I want, and this is what I see myself having, and and again, she has her success as well, and then others follow suit, same similar success. So
that episode, like that whole interview when we were recording, that inspired me so much, and then everything she said after too, like definitely check it out if you haven't got a chance. It's definitely so worth it.
It is, and get you moving a little bit too.
Yeah,
we talked about that too. How I was legit sore after that little workout. It was even 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
I was legit sore for 2 days. So Tiff, you watching this too? You had me sore, girl.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Right? You did a good job.
That is the reason why you were a trainer. Okay.
Right. But manifestation is definitely big in that. And in regards to into the soulmates and relationships.
Yeah.
And another thing I just want to say really quick again, just to hit on like not limiting yourself or your abilities. Like speak, I guess grandly, I guess that's the word I'm using for it.
Yeah.
But speak in that manner, like what you want. Speak it. Don't be afraid of, like, even if it's a silly or doesn't make sense to nobody else, like, it just has to make sense to you, Yeah. Especially, again, if you're constantly hearing that in your inner ear, you're constantly thinking about it. You wake up, you're thinking about it. You go to bed, you think about it. Like,
it'll happen.
Be clear. Like you said before, be clear. Be
very clear.
And purposeful and really intentional. And I'm telling you, like, those doors start flying open. Like, seriously.
And everybody that's made it to whatever you look up to in whatever field, everybody that's made it to that point believed that they could do it.
Yeah.
And that's like, even if you don't have the belief yet, maybe start with some affirmation. Figure out one affirmation that makes you better with whatever you're dealing with, and then start working in some manifestation. When you see those things happen, then maybe you'll start believing in yourself more, and then it'll all just come together and propel you forward. And I've definitely seen times in my life where I've done it more and done it less, and there's a very clear difference. So I do like a good bit of it now. I'm working on getting back to the point where I was doing it every day, all day. And I am definitely going to be doing this challenge with y'all. So let me know how it works out for y'all, and I'm going to do it too.
Yes.
I've done a bunch of different manifestation, but I really wanted to share this with y'all, have the opportunity for you to do it as well, and then in future episodes we'll tell you how it goes.
And I definitely say write it down, because when you write it, for me too, is because you can also see it. You can see it consistently, and however you decide to do those things, write it down.
And I wrote those visualizations down too. I did.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, I really did. And I also, one thing that I noticed is that at some point I let it go. Like, let go and let God, or let go and let the universe, whatever you believe in is very true. Because at some point I let it go. I was starting to work myself up about it, and then I let it go and started focusing on what I love and who I love. And then boom, the floodgates open.
Because again, like I want to say before, again, because manifesting negativity equally comes too. So the moment you start telling yourself, I'm not going to be able to do that. Nobody's going to buy my product. Nobody's going to come see my show. Nobody's going to, you manifest that too. You know what I'm saying? And the more you say those things and be negative to yourself, the more you're going to put yourself in a cycle of only seeing negative, to wherever you do try, it didn't work and it failed. And when you sit and sometimes wonder, well, why is it failing? Why does it keep failing? It's because you're not believing even in yourself that you can do it. You're limiting yourself. I know sometimes we become those Debbie Downers sometimes, even more so probably to ourselves and to others, and we definitely got to eliminate that. So definitely more positivity manifested than the negative things. And
it does feel overwhelming with all these things. I know it does. So if you're feeling that, that's very normal. So I definitely suggest starting with just one affirmation that you say every day, or every time you're feeling down, you just kick that into gear, and it will start to work for you. Figure out whatever your biggest struggle is and think about that before you start saying it. Just think about it, become very clear with your affirmation, and you'll see the benefits.
And use whatever benefits for you as well. Like if writing it down, like you said, it works. Do that. If writing it on your mirror every day, because you go to your mirror in the bathroom every day works. Do that. You know what I mean? Like
I think there's power in saying it out loud too.
I think there's a lot of. I think it's more power in because like so once you speak it and like those vibrations. That's what I'm saying. Like it becomes living once the energy has been put out. Literally, than writing it. Like as soon as you speak it, I mean, even again, it's not manifested. It's alive. Yeah. Like you said, it can't be. Energy can't be destroyed or what do you say?
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Thank you. So once it's out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and even if you have to say it like a few different times to actually believe it, that's totally normal too. Like there's like at some point it'll kick in and you'll be like, wow, I actually believe this. That's cool. And then you might have to start over the next day, from a different point. But eventually it will become so deep rooted in you that it won't even be an affirmation.
And I think it becomes, like I said before, like once you say it so much, and especially by the time you said it, you told other people, then now it becomes more reality. Because like, okay, now I got to stand on this. You know what I mean? I just told people to start this business, and I just told myself I'm going to start this business. I just seen it. Okay, now I'm ready, do this, do that. Part
of me suggests not telling people because I feel like that's what's been putting pressure on me to like do what I say I'm going to do. For sure. Right. So maybe
put on stage of it, right?
Yeah, figure out your journey and get it like literally ready to start, like everything ready to start, and then I guess tell people, because also people will cloud your judgment and will take away the trust that you have in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So
and people can do that. That's true. Like, that might be too hard, or how you think you're gonna be able to do that, or people down here don't do that.
I mean, like your ride or dies. I feel like you could tell them anything, because they're always going to support you. Yeah. But family, like other friends, they're all doing it out of protection and love, so don't take it like I just think that they're being like, nah, you can't do anything. Right. But they're speaking from their reality, not yours.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So,
well said.
Yeah. But all of that to say, I know we went in a long tangent about that, but this really is the foundation of what we're talking about. Yes. So it's very, very important. I do want to move on, if you're good. Yeah. Okay, awesome. To like manifesting your soulmate specifically. So get clear about what you want, write it down. Again, like we've said with other things, write a detailed picture. Like for me, literally looks and gender do not matter at all. So that's just me. I know a lot of people have a specific physical type. But yeah, so if you do, then write down that part, draw a physical picture of them. But if nothing else, write down qualities, characteristics, values of that person, and focus only on the positives. Yeah. Okay? Don't say like, I don't want this, I don't want that. So create a positive vision of your soulmate and hold only onto that vision in your mind. And that will also help you really clearly, if you're meeting someone and you're not seeing that, just be able to let it go of like, this is not the person for me. Mm-hmm. We can have a friendship, we can whatever, we could never talk again, but this is not my soulmate, period. Let's move it on.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good too, because I think by having that kind of place as standard, then you're also able to then pick up on a lot of red flags early on, because they automatically won't go with what you envision and say. I know a lot of times when we meet people, finally deal like, okay, I finally got a person, I'll be alone or whatever. We tend, especially early in relationships, in that kind of honeymoon phase of any relationship and infatuation phase where everything they do is just so cute, it's so amazing, it's so great, and then 3-4 months later you're like, that annoys the hell out of me. It's really quick, but I think again you can see those things early on by really making that clear, painting that clear kind of picture again, like you said, of what and who you want and the type of person you want in your life. And I think by focusing on the characteristics and values of a person more so than the appearance of a person, those kind of things, you really have better chance of not only finding that person, but also being able to
maintain it for life.
Maintain that.
Yeah.
Right, a long time.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah. And definitely if you are religious or spiritual, ask what you want through prayer. If not, then meditation, affirmation, visualization, great tools to use. And you got to remember, whatever you want, you need to say exactly, like, to a T what you want. And then there are different, like, workbooks you can do. But take actionable steps to reach your goals and then add them to your daily routine. To not make this overwhelming, I would suggest just adding one. But if you're the type of person that you're like, I need all of them at once, and that makes me feel comfortable, do that.
Right.
I am not that person. Because I will do them all for a really long time. And then it'll be like a few months of doing them all. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta, figure stuff out. Yeah. So just adding one slowly, seeing how that works for you, is really powerful as well. And then, maybe you want to create a different group, like have different people in your life who are also taking steps and talk about, well, how did this work out for you? Like, what did you see and all that? I do think that it's important to, if you want something, to choose very carefully who you share that with. I know we talked about it a little bit, but for example, I went on a speed dating a little while ago, and I asked 2 very specific questions to knock out everybody. I was like, period, I don't want to waste my time if you don't answer these what I want. But besides that, I have a whole list of what I absolutely have to have in a partner, what would be nice in a partner, and what I will not accept. Yeah. But I don't share that list with all these people. Like, no, because then that gives people the opportunity to pretend to be somebody that they're not, therefore wasting both of our time.
Right, absolutely. Agree. And when it comes to those things, too, I call it things like my non-negotiables, Mm-hmm. It's like things that, is off the bat, kind of those deal breakers, for me. If they don't do, have these kind of things. Again, specific qualities, of course, that ultimately I know in the long run would matter to me, so those kind of things, I think, be sticking true to those things, mm-hmm. Even despite, like, trying to manifest your ideal partner. Like I said, I'm focusing on, like, I don't want a partner that does this and that, but you still want to keep those non-negotiables of things that you won't waver on. Yeah. So, again, that does help eliminate against some people who may seem like, oh man, they seem so perfect, and then you'd be like, but then in reality, X, Y, Z.
I think it's like it's in this way is better, where it's like, instead of I don't want a partner who's not willing to give me a massage, you say I want a partner who gives me a massage. Like, so it's still the same statement, but in a more positive way.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Best way to actually do that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because then you're not bringing any negative energy. It's just good coming to you.
Yeah, right.
And then if your desire is to be married, if you want to be in a loving, committed relationship, ask yourself what symbolizes this. So are you looking for an engagement ring? Are you looking for a wedding band? Is it living together? Do you, create a space in your world to make space for your future soulmate? So if you want the one, are you making room for them in your actual heart and then in your physical space? Yeah. Like, are you prepared for whatever gifts will come to you right now?
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then feel into your goals, because if your mind is unable to perceive it, you won't be able to achieve it. So feel that feeling of your goals happening to you, and open yourself up for whatever way that does play out.
Yeah.
And then, we talked about this a little bit. Be thankful and grateful for anything you received. So you might have not manifested your soulmate yet. Yet is the key word. Yeah. However, you got to be grateful for every achievement you've made towards that goal. Even if all you've done is knock people out of contention. Be grateful, because that's getting you closer and closer to the person you're trying to find.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm biggie on that one. If they not for you, listen, let them go. And I know sometimes you get caught up in like time or this idea of, oh my God, I really love them, I really care for them, or these memories. But it's like, I be telling people all the time, it's life and time is so short that we just don't have time for people to bring us down or to be in our lives that's not at least pushing us further where we want to be. It's so easy to settle into anything,
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
I settled for years. And I think, honestly, both of us knew pretty early. I think we both would admit, if I talk to my ex now, that 6 months into our 3.5-year relationship, we knew we weren't meant to be together. Yeah. But we loved each other so much. We cared about each other. We stayed. And then for me, that was the best relationship I had been in to that point. And so for me, every time I think about like, oh, well, I don't like this, I wish they wouldn't do that, like, and this and that, I will be like, but is there better for me?
Right.
Or am I going to let him go and this is the best I could ever get? Right. And I was stuck in that mindset for so long. I didn't give myself the freedom to be happy. Like, some people can look at me and be like, oh, you've been single for 2 years, like, poor pitiful you. Like, bitch, I'm choosing this life, okay? I could get a bitch if I wanted to. I've had 3 randos on the street try to eat my ass, so I could get someone, okay? He knows his story, so yeah. He was there for one of them. That was wild.
It was wild. He was ready too.
Yeah, I know, right there. I was like, I am sweaty, sir. But regardless, like, it's not about that. I am much happier on my own and giving myself the tools, energy, and gifts that I need than I have ever been in any of my past relationships. And I am not going to settle for someone that doesn't add to my life, add to me as a person, and make me a better person with the life that I want. And I've had exes that are great people, and it's not about that. They're just not right for me.
Right, so absolutely. And that's the biggest thing in that. Like, not that, the person is so horrible. So, like, well, I guess apparently, they don't do this, they're not doing that. But, again, if that person isn't, like, totally beating those needs. Because, again, eventually, with most things, life has those tendencies to kind of re-show you something, or retest you with a thing. So, 6 months might not be an issue, but a year from now, that one thing that's like, or would have been a non-negotiable is resurfacing every time y'all communicate. You know what I mean? To a point where eventually the inevitable happens anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because what's not meant for you is not going to be for you, no matter how much you try, or you know what I'm saying? Because that's in essence just, again, not even how the universe itself works, So if it's not going to be for you, the universe will find its way to weasel that person out anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and the universe kept on trying. It was like, girl, go. And I did not listen. Right. But I'm in living by what we're saying, I am very grateful. I say this all the time. I'm very grateful for that relationship, for that person, because I learned so much about myself, my needs, my wants, and the future that I am manifesting. Yes. And without that relationship, I would never be where I am now. I would never think the way that I am now, and I would never believe that there is better out there for me. Yeah. Like, period.
And I've been really good at that. Because I tell, people I'm in relationships with, too, all the time, too, like, and it's so true. Good, as good as it and bad as it at the same time. But I typically, I tell people, like, within the first 3 months of a relationship, I know whether or not we're going to last. My longest relationship was only a year, some change. But because normally I'm that way. I have my non-negotiables. I have things that I want, and and I ask the right questions, and I also pick more red flags quick. For those reasons. Because again, I don't want to. And for me, my biggest thing is not only getting my time wasted. I don't want to waste somebody else's time either.
Yeah.
Because again, like, we both have lives to live, and life is so short. And again, like I said before, so I'd be like thinking about their time too. Like, listen, I don't want to waste your time by dragging you along, just like I don't want my time being wasted by me getting dragged along. So at least it's always best for me personally to always end a relationship on those highs, because then at least there's always room and a door open, at least if it comes back or whatever.
On what highs? What do you mean?
I mean, like in a good place. Like, I never had like a bad breakup for those same reasons too. You know what I mean? For those same reasons too, where it's like if it's those things that's not working, then of course we can get to a place we could talk about it openly together, made a decision, okay, it's not going to work, and then we can easily move on, still good terms, so that again, the universe bring it back, or things in life change where, it kind of cycles back. We have that opportunity versus, it was just so bad and it was so toxic and all these things.
And that's a whole nother set of grief if it is that bad,
right.
Like, that's one thing that is really beautiful to see, because every once in a while me and my ex communicate, and it's really beautiful to see how much we've both grown being apart and how much better we both are and how we're both turning into better versions of ourselves. But we can still attribute a lot of that to how we did grow as people during our relationship, as well as our breakup conversation, because it lasted hours and we were both crying, and he does not cry. He only almost cried a couple times, and he like boohoo cried, and I was of course boohoo cried, but it lasted a long time, and we both were able to communicate like with compassion and love and respect everything that was missing from our relationships and everything that we hope the other person does in their relationships in the future.
Right, for sure.
And that was like, we're never gonna, I know we ain't gonna get back together. I know he'd say the same thing, but like, it was just beautiful, like how much we really taught each other, even in our breakup conversation.
That's really
so
dope.
yeah.
Really nice.
It was really, I'm really thankful for that.
I don't know, about ideas like soulmate. They say like typically, I think like after a certain point in your life, the chances that you already met and was with, been with your soulmate has already happened. Which is so crazy sometimes, because it's like I always think back on like who that could have been, who that was.
It ain't for me. It ain't at least any of my exes. I don't know if it's somebody else, but it ain't none of my exes.
They said that by the time like you hit a certain point in life, like you would have already at least had met and been introduced to who your soulmate is. But I don't know. I think that there's different things with that too. 'Cause I don't know if that was like me and you speaking, or my other friends, when we talked about like the concept of like other people could also be your soulmate.
Yeah, we talked about that in our check out from season 1, our soulmate episode. I think it was Love and Soulmates. Yeah, check it out, and you'll hear us talk about all that. We'll
so I think,
skip ahead as much as we can.
I think that part is some truth to that. Like I can see, you don't really think about it a lot of times when it comes to other relationships, but I do look at like some of our friends with that idea, like, like with some of my friends, about like, yo, you guys are really my soulmate, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like with many of like my long-term friends, like, yo, I couldn't. So it's like that thing, like I can't see life up to this point if they wasn't in it,
And I can't see life past this point without you in it.
Even with some family members, like you know what I mean? I know that that's like. My sibling, like my sister, for instance, like I know for a fact, like you were placed in my life specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even as siblings, but you were placed in my life for, just many reasons. But those kind of things, like
and every season,
you know what I mean? Like it's like so I think that soulmates too is beyond just relationship when we think about.
100%,
for sure.
But we'll get back to the romance. And we don't have much time for romance, but we're gonna do it. But not literally. So
Lady Gaga, bad romance.
Oh yeah, bad romance. Yeah. She sounds nothing like that.
That's so funny. When she tried to pronounce it, though, like that's like it's weird. She don't say romance.
Romance.
Yeah, she said kind of like that, right? Right. She said kind of like that.
Oh, also, this points out, so don't believe that you want, or don't even believe that you're manifesting your soulmate in a way, Believe that your soulmate is already yours and is on their way to you already.
Absolutely. And when it comes to a lot of these things too, I just want to also just disclaimers and say, please don't be like, creepy when it comes to these things. Like, I just think about like how you go from manifest to stalker real quick. But I'm manifesting you, but you're hiding in their bushes. That's not what we mean. Not what we mean. Like, was it a healthy and positive manifestation of the person you want? Like,
and also consent is everything. If they're if they're not consenting to any energy that you're giving off, Move it on. There will be someone that will.
Right.
Unless you're like a psycho crazy person. And I don't think any of those people would be here anyways.
Right.
Maybe a little crazy, but it would be fun and cute. And sometimes not fun and cute, but mostly fun and cute.
The good crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of our life like comes from our subconscious. So it's really important to tap into that. So you got to focus on your internal dialogue. You can't be like, oh, I'll never find someone, or it's so hard to find someone these days. I've been guilty of saying that too.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, where I am now, I'd rather be alone for 10 more years than give in to a relationship that's not meant for me, period.
Absolutely.
Like, I have enough loved ones around me. I'd be fine. I'd work it out. Now, I do want something sooner than that, so we're going to work on it, manifestation. But I ain't going to accept less than what I deserve, want, and need.
Absolutely. Period.
So.
I mean, that's it.
Yup.
Hey, very well said. I mean, like, hey,
drop that mic.
You know what I mean? Like, for real, like, because it's so important when it comes to those things, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, don't be like creep. Like, it just made me think about like Helga from Hey Arnold, who had a whole like shrine of him, made like gum and all this stuff in her closet. Remember that?
I watched Hey Arnold. I don't remember that.
She had a whole shrine of him. I made a gum and stuff that she had in the closet.
Oh, I just got a whiff of the image in my head. I don't know that I didn't get this scene, but as soon as you said of gum, I saw it. Like
So we don't be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and don't like stalk them or hurt them physically or mentally.
Sure.
Because that ain't love, baby.
That's not. Right. Especially like if it's not reciprocated, then you already know too.
Then it's not meant for you.
Exactly. So your soulmate can be somebody else. Just like again, you may not be there. So
exactly.
They have their own. So it's okay.
Yeah, and you gotta like really look inward and figure out what is the belief that you have of yourself and what is stopping me from manifesting my soulmate. And once you have this answer, write that down. Then replace that with a new belief in a more positive way. So then that will become your first thing. Yeah. So the only way that you get like anywhere in life, good, bad, or ugly, is by you and your actions. The world may have the world definitely has an effect, and the people around you definitely have an effect on you. At the end of the day, you're the one driving the train. This is your life, and your decisions and the people that you choose to keep around you will change you in a good or bad way. So you just have to get as close to your gut as possible, and then it becomes so easy to weed people out or keep people here.
Absolutely. I agree with that for sure. Mm-hmm. That's a biggie. And it's a biggie because, like I said, I know so many people. I mean, it happens, you know. I guess we all get to that place again. Nobody wants to, I guess, again, the idea of being alone or, you know, not have that person or not find that person. I mean, I think naturally as humans, you know, we're designed for other human interaction, you know, so I don't think
society puts like romantic relationships on such a pedestal and people will say things to look down upon you if you're not in one.
That's true.
So it's like not your fault if you feel that way. It's very normal, but it's not reality. Like any kind of relationship is important and will help you and can fulfill those needs. And then, you know, if you need other needs met, there are people that can fulfill them. They don't have to be your soulmate.
For sure, right. For sure. Like I said, I was going to say that because so many people I know like are in relationships or been in relationships, like I said, for years, or still in relationships that you just know is just not bringing them bringing them anything new, not elevating themselves or elevating each other. I mean, I've seen it so many times. Like, listen, you need to, but some people get, like I said, they get hold on to that or fear of not finding somebody at all, or not having somebody. I just feel like,
or not being good enough to get better.
Yeah, those are just not reasons to have people in your life that's just not bringing you value. Because I always think about it again, like I always thinking about it in a way of like life. Like if you go tomorrow, you just thinking about your last days was spent in a miserable relationship, and that is why, you know what I mean? Like to me, that's just wild. Like you don't want to live like that or go like that. You know what I mean? Like just, it's like your last day or you had an opportunity on your deathbed, and like, and you're thinking about that person. So you want to, like I said, I'd rather be sad. I'd rather be happy and fulfilled alone in the sense of just having somebody for the sake of just having them. And
because we have plenty of people in our lives that love us and we love that can fill that.
Right, absolutely.
So, yeah, I do want to share just a couple quick things before we go. So I'm not going to get into the deep ones because, like I said, I won't share. But these are ones, like, just because it is for me and the partner that I want, and I don't want someone to pretend to be someone there aren't. But these two things you can't really pretend with. Not really. You'll get caught real quick. Yeah. So my soulmate is someone that wants to have a family, and we will figure out some way together where I can be pregnant. And also, they are open to the world of being poly. That's my soulmate. And those are the two questions I asked on that speed dating. I really was like, do you want kids? And are you poly? Literally. Every single person I asked that to. Really? I had little disclaimers of like, this is kind of like weird to ask when you first meet someone because it's an intense question, but I need to know. Like, I really told him, like, I need to weed y'all out. Not like that, but like, I didn't. Some of them I told like that because we were getting along great and they reacted great to that. But some of them I was like, these are just deal breakers. Yeah. So, yeah. And there was, it was really awkward because there was one that said no to the kids immediately. We were just sitting there like all quiet, like, so what do you do for fun?
Right. There's already no weed out.
Yeah,
And they probably know too.
And she knew too. Yeah, we both knew.
I've already weeded out too. So this is nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, great lighting you get here. You know what
I mean? Yeah, we really did. Or I think I even asked her at one point, like, so who are you interested in here? Maybe
Now that's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
But what about you? What do you want to share?
That's so I think my things is of course, like that's a thing for me too, like if they want a family, because that is a thing that I want to, and we always talk about that, the house. I mean, ideally I would want a large family, but I do also.
How large?
I mean, keep me half, but baby,
if you can pop them out, I can raise them.
You can pop them out, we can do it. But I'm not oblivious to understand. And again, I mean, I don't understand fully, but I'm not oblivious to understanding women's bodies and understanding that sometimes that want can, you know what I'm saying? Because again, she could be a woman who, may not be able to have kids or trouble having, you know what I mean? So of course I wouldn't want to put somebody I love through that torment to appease me, but I would like someone who's, again, just ideal with having a family. Then we can always talk about other ways,
adoption, you know what I'm saying? Fostering,
you know what I mean.
That,
if so that, but I do want somebody who ultimately, for sure, wants kids and potentially could see themselves raising or mothering multiple children, as, multiple families as well. And of course, being religious is a big thing. I mean, I'm more like non-denom, so I don't, you don't have to be like, you only wear a dress and all these, all these things. But I do want you to have some level of spirituality to you, and about you, because I do. So I know for a fact, like, I could never be with an atheist, like, just hands down. You know what I mean? But again, somebody who's at least touched into some spiritual aspect, we can work and we can talk, because again, it is something that grounds me a lot and has rooted me. So for me to have a life that doesn't have it, I could never even see it, you know. And then of course I ain't gonna lie, even with my own stuff, I've been weaning in and out about this poly thing and how I feel about it and going into it, because part of me been inching more towards getting into that. So that being a thing but because I'm still figuring my way in it to segue that into putting that on somebody else, I'm still trying to figure that out. But I've also thought about that too when it comes to my idea of, because I do want a large family. So it's like, for me, I think about it on that aspect too, is again, like, that might be a lot for, again, a woman to be able to bear that many children. It's like, well, listen, if I can have a couple women to do it type of thing, then that makes it, you know what I mean? Like,
see, my ideal family is actually...
It helps I was like, they can, you know, I was telling a friend about it. And they was like, looking at me like crazy. I was like, that's a thing. Because, like, imagine if, like, one's pregnant or, you know, having a child, then the other kind of sister wife can also help. And, you know, it can be a whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, they can help each other out.
Now, if the women don't, that's one thing with polyamory versus, like, more of a polygamy that I don't understand is if the women don't have relationships together, like, romantically, I just don't get how it can work. Like, to me, my perfect family ideal situation, I'm gonna actually start tapping into this manifestation, is multiple people, like 4 or 5 people in a household, multiple, like, primary, like, it could be a primary partner or someone that you started out with or whatever, but multiple genders, multiple couples or whatever coming together, a bunch of people coming together, and essentially having 2 or 3 sets of different people's children, and we all raise them together, but we are all in a relationship together as well.
I like that. That's good. I mean, I don't know how I feel about a lot of things, but I was always like, you know, it's one of the first two. I'm like, listen, you can have your own house. So I feel like I wouldn't.
See, I want us all in the same home.
Yeah, I wouldn't care less, so to speak, whether or not, you know, they. I mean, granted, I'm not saying that they have a relationship or they have to, like, I don't want them to, like, not know each other type of thing, or not, in a sense, like, have a family relationship, even if it's not like a necessarily, you know, they have to love one another, because, I mean, them, you know, they love me, and I love, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, cool, you know, and I get how, especially when you talk about, you know, women in a sense, I understand women sometimes, so I was like, you know, listen, if it's an issue in that regard, then I don't mind, you know, having different houses, but I would want to kind of at least be on the same land. But then one of my friends was like, that sounds like a compound. And I was just like, I'm like, I mean, they said like, I was like, well, I guess. I'm like, I mean, dang, you know what I mean? I was like,
and I mean, ultimately, regardless of, like, their relationships with each other or with you, like, you are one unit. You're in this together in a sense, so it will still have to be some sort of friendship, love between them at the very least.
At the very least, you know, because I don't want it to be, you know, of course I don't want to with cattiness, you know, among them or whatever, like, you know, but for me, you know, legacy is a big thing, just for me, you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing, like, literally every choice I've made and everything I've done and everything I plan on doing is literally always thinking about the legacy I'm leaving behind and the generations I'm leaving behind. So for me, more than anything, I need a partner who sees the value in that. It's not necessarily about me. It's not necessarily about you. It's about the offspring, the generation, especially because for me, it's why it's big and why I want a big family. Because number one, I always had a small family on my mother's side. My dad's side, like, I think I was grandchild 100 or something. Like, it's a lot of
100 is. Are you for real?
I'm so serious.
Oh my god,
I'm so serious.
That's amazing though. I would have loved to have that.
It's a lot of them on that side. But like intermediate family, because more on my mom's side, you know, it's really small, and I'm the last male. I'm the last male that keeps the family name going. Yeah. So that's why it's also so naturally it's been a thing on my shoulders to keep the bloodline going. You know, so that's why.
I mean, that's a deal breaker for me actually. Is that I at the very least need to hyphenate with my last name, because I'm the last person in general with my last name.
Oh wow.
In my family.
Oh wow, that's great.
And because they all had girls too. Everybody had girls. And I don't think the rest of the girls that aren't married are going to think like that. I don't think they're just going to do what society tells you to do and take the last name. Because they're also, I feel like I get a little bit more freedom since I am pansexual and like I'm already breaking the barriers of society just by being me. That I feel like it's easier for someone in like the LGBTQ community to already like, well, I'm already different than people tell me how I should be. So what else do I want and need that society tells me I shouldn't do? You know?
Right.
So plus it's already becoming a thing right now in general, even with straight people of hyphenating last names. Or I know someone that like they both took the woman's last name as well. So,
And there's some debates on that, too. That they recently... Actually, I was listening to one of the radio stations, and they was actually... It was a whole thing on the radio station. They was talking about it. And, of course, I have my personal beliefs in that. Like, I understand and I can get those things, especially like that, where you want to keep your own family name kind of, hyphenated. But I don't know. I have a biases personally when it comes to like taking a woman's last name, but I really do.
Well, that's why I ain't gonna marry your bitch ass. Because ideally they would take my name completely.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But that's just, but that's also because again, I mean, that lineage and that, and I guess again it's one sided because because as a man, so I believe in like, in that, in our, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
The genealogy of things. I believe, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of, like, that generational kind of thing. Like, is big in that and keeping that bloodline going. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of big into that. So, of course I would want my wife to have my name and,
And you'd have to do a different offshoot on the family tree if the name changed, but you'd have the one name overall.
But I wouldn't like, of course, ever be opposed to like my wife because I mean it's not like as long as she does like have, of course, like part of my name for sure. But for the hyphenated thing, like I would never be like, raise a fuss about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I would raise a fuss. She changed my name to what? Mm-hmm. But again, it's big because again, as a person with the last, to carry my name, you know what I mean, like, because like I said, it would die with me. You know what I'm saying? It would. Like if I had,
same.
If I had other who had it, and maybe not such a big deal, but because it is a thing and it's kind of heavy, on the trajectory of, I mean, really the whole tree and branch from from what I do, which of course at the same time, my family is ready. You ain't have no kids yet? You're not, they be ready. I was like, look, I'm particular, man. Manifestin stole me.
Right.
Find them.
And that is another reason why someone else's, like, advice for you is just projections of their own life, right. Do what is best for your path, okay? And I think that's where we're going to end with you today.
Yes.
Comment what your deal breakers are and what you want in a partner. Are you going to change your last name? Either way, it doesn't matter what gender. Are you down to hyphenate? Do you not want any of that? Like, what do you want to make a new last name? People do that too. Yeah. Like, what do you want?
That's a good
Tell
one.
us in the comments. Yeah. Some people, it's really cool making a last name. I think that's amazing. Right. I will not do it. Like I said, it dies with me, but I think that's really cool.
That is cool. I told my cousin that just to say it real quick because he has somebody else's last name who ultimately not his father. He has that person's last name. Mm-hmm. And, there was mentioned like, he didn't know how he feel about it and all these kind of things. And I was thinking about changing it. So I had a conversation with him too. I was like, hey, if you want to change it, I was like, it's not a hard process to change your name, which is really, really not. Like, you'd be surprised really how easy a name change is. Literally, all you have to do is just start calling yourself that name. Yeah. Really is where it starts, for real.
Well, legally is like, at least if it's a divorce and then you have to change everything, it's a little harder.
It's a little hard. You just say your own, like, you just have people refer to you that way and start putting that on stuff, and that's really how you do it. So I tell the same thing, like, hey, you know, if you want to, you know, do something on, hey, do something on, you know what I'm saying, on. If you want to go to, you know, your biological father day, then go there. If you want to keep, you know, but he was like, you know, I want to keep this thing. It is who I am. It is part of my identity, you know, and I would just rock with it. I'm like, well, that's good and admirable too, you know. Yeah. So, and
whatever
also,
works for you.
In the comments too, going back to the beginning, put whatever you're manifesting in the comments too. You know, if you want to share, again, like we talked about, not telling the whole world, but if you feel good and you want to share some of the things you manifesting, those things you want, definitely put it in the comments. You know? Yeah,
those are my open manifestation deal breakers. Yeah. But you'll never find out the rest. Maybe once I have my person or people, because I kind of want a whole community. But yeah. Right. Just a selfish little whore, I guess. Right. Any kids listening, that's a joke. And also, please don't listen if you're a child. I don't know. Right. Yeah.
I always put on YouTube, no, not for kids. No, it's not.
I know. I always click it. I always click explicit content. I don't care what we say. Like, I'm just like, explicit, not for kids.
Just in case.
Yeah.
You never know.
But we love you adults here listening to us. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Thanks again. Come chat with us. We really want to talk to you. Please, 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 baby.
Yes. Okay. I'm manifesting that you guys are going to talk to us.
Yes. No, I'm manifesting that our audience communicates to us abundantly. And already in present tense. Remember, communicates to us abundantly.
They are communicating. In abundance. As a matter of fact, we can't even keep up with the comments you guys are putting in.
Like, 2 be typing a week.
You're just typing right. You can't even reply. You're just struggling to reply to everybody. It's crazy.
Yes. We're going to have to hire someone. Right. It's so wild. Or we are hiring someone. I don't know. Did we say that?
Funny.
Okay. All right.
Because there's a person out there right now that's like, want to be hired by Target ATM. Bet.
Please. We will pay you once we have money. We promise. We will at least work something out for you. So you won't go home empty-handed.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to laugh a lot and cry.
Yeah. It's a whole process. And it's fun behind the scenes, too. It really is.
It is.
So.
Oh, my gosh. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. You're good. Okay.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. I'm just waiting to say I love you. Okay.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.